The Celtics Talk podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com, 11 locations across New England.
What's up, everybody? Postgame pod. Kayla Burton alongside. And Kayla, it is nice that you finally get to join for a win.
It feels amazing. I'm smiling from ear to ear because I just saw Jayson Tatum, who exploded to another 30-plus point win. But also, he was asked in postgame about Luke Cornett, and Jayson Tatum was smiling. So a lot of smiles here today. I'm feeling great.
116-103 over the San Antonio Spurs. The big matchup between Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. It didn't matter. You got Jayson Tatum on the other side, who has been fantastic throughout this stretch. What's your biggest takeaway from tonight's game?
The 37 points in the first quarter is my biggest takeaway. Why? Because Jayson Tatum said last game, we need to come home, and I want to play for these fans. I want to get them excited. I want to remind them, hey, we're good at home. And they did that. Jayson Tatum had 14 of his points in the first quarter, and it was just fun. I mean, we were here at the game. It was electrifying to see this crowd get up.
Especially after thinking about what we were here for Sacramento.
Right.
Game.
So having them be
Dallas.
about their word, it was just nice. And then to see the fans bought into it, like the place erupted early on. We even saw Torrey Craig get in the first quarter, hit 2 for 2 from behind the three in his debut. It was fun, Chris. It was a lot, and you're happy. I'm more happy that you're happy.
You know,
that's a big deal.
Remember, I have sworn now after watching the last 2 weeks of Celtics basketball that I will not. I'll ride the roller coaster. I'll still go on the post-game show and get angry and stuff like that.
No, you've been
about good, but like there's been way more good than bad, and it is refreshing that they seem to have found a little something over the last few weeks. And honestly, like I think if you wanted like distill it down and what's different, well, it might just be just Jayson Tatum has been awesome, and just as you said again in this one, where he challenges the team after first off he plays in Miami even though the team is begging him to take a night off. He challenges the team. Hey, we're going home. He's back out there tonight, even though they still can't get him to take a day off, and bringing it in the first quarter and setting a tone and just making sure the Celtics were going to get it into this All-Star break with the right momentum, with the right mojo, and you can just feel it changing a little bit. 7 out of 8 now. You know, they haven't made up a whole lot of distance on the Cavaliers. That'll be a big storyline coming out of the break. But I did like that tonight, a big matchup, like a lot of eyeballs on this game with Wemby. You know, everyone keeps saying like, oh, that's a guy you're gonna have to go through in the future. Well, right now teams have to go through the Boston Celtics, and the way Jayson Tatum is playing, good luck, because that is a daunting task. Like, is this? I think I heard Scal say it on the postgame show. Is this Tatum's best stretch of basketball overall? I think that might be going a little far, but like I get his point, right? Like he's making all the right plays, he's having impact. And it's hard to argue like that. 4 of the last, for his last 4 games haven't been just otherworldly in terms of setting a tone.
Because even against the Heat, right, when he scored 9, I believe it was like 9 points in the first half, and he hated that. Joe Mazzulla was on him, being like, "Dude, you got to figure that. We got to get it together," and look directly to him. And then that's what he did in that third quarter, erupted for 20 points. But what I love about what Jayson Tatum is doing, to kind of Scal's point about this stretch, is that he sees it, corrects it, and then owns it. And like the previous Jayson Tatum, we kind of didn't know. I mean, we know we're getting an all-star, but we didn't know if it was going to be a not so great or bad Jayson Tatum night, or like what are we going to get from him tonight going into this all-star break. And now I think Celtics Nation in general, I feel like I don't want to speak for you, but like I'll speak for you then, that you're able to be relaxed and find confidence in this guy because of how he carries himself and his actions that display out there on the court.
Yeah, it's weird to say, right? Like he's an MVP candidate every year. He's an All-Star. He's All-NBA. And yet there are definitely times where, especially in this roller coaster stretch, where I would sit here and say, man, just feel like you need a little bit more from Tatum. And it wasn't that he was playing bad. I just think there's moments throughout the course of a season where if a team hits a rough patch, you need your superstars to pull you out of it. And I think both him and Jaylen have done a good job of identifying spots where they need to be better. But like this particular stretch, and maybe it's just because Jaylen's missed a couple games, but you can feel it from Tatum where he's like, I'm just going to have to carry us through right now, even though guys are starting to play better. Derrick White's turning the corner. You talked about Luke Cornett at the start of the pod, where like he's giving you great minutes every night.
That dunk too by Luke.
He
loved it.
We keep saying like we don't see a lot of emotion from Tatum. That second half against Miami, he was as emphatic as I've ever seen him. And then tonight, Luke screaming at the bench after one of his putbacks.
So good.
And
We
I
had
was
a
like,
great.
whoa.
We were sitting in the perfect section too to see that. It was
and
cool.
I was like, what is happening right
Yeah.
now? But no, I think they all understand. Like everyone's probably been waiting to scream like that because it's been a burden, right?
Yeah.
Like they just haven't been good at home. They haven't been consistent overall. Finally feels like they're tapping into stuff, that there's good habits forming. And I keep joking with you, like I want the All-Star break. We all need just to like
little break,
turn
little
our,
detox,
turn our minds off a little bit, and then there'll be a furious sprint over the final 27 games. But on the other hand, I'm like, man, the Celtics starting to play some really good basketball.
It's like, don't stop.
I need everybody to bottle up whatever's happening right now and make sure that they have it when they come out on the other side.
The flow of all of them together, just in this, this game that we saw here, and for them to just. Not just have like, okay, Jaylen Brown has a good night, but where's the rest of the crew? D. White goes off for, 7 made threes, and then Peyton Pritchard can't hit. Everyone contributed in their own way. All 5 starters, all 4 of the 5 starters, were in double figures except for Al Horford, but it's okay because he has 10 boards coming off the glass and was a monster.
And he
on
seemed
the
fired
glass.
up as much as anybody.
Right.
Like the 38-year-old dude is looking over a 21-year-old Wembyama.
He's running out of bounds, hustling.
I love it. I love that, again, that the energy level was there. And you brought up, like, KP almost flirted with 30 points. Derrick White was flirting with a triple-double. You almost had 2 guys with triple-doubles, which very rarely happens. I think our boss, Kevin Miller, was looking it up. I think he said only maybe 17 times in NBA history, 2 guys on the same team with a triple-double. And, like, half of those are Westbrook and one of them with Jokic this year. But everybody played a part. And even, as you mentioned, Torrey Craig. So new guy shows up. Doesn't have a practice, doesn't have probably doesn't even know half the plays they're running, but goes out there, knocks down a couple threes, plays some good defense, and on a night you don't have Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown, gives you some good minutes.
And that's what the thing too, like Jayson Tatum was talking about, Torrey Craig, and hey, what's it like for him to kind of get acclimated? He's like, I don't even really know. We haven't really practiced with the guy, and for Craig to come on this team, the defending champs, and a lot of the guys that have established roles a little bit on this team, that could be not intimidating because they're professionals and they're in the NBA and this is the business, but for him to first force the Spurs to turn the ball over on that one play and then hit back-to-back threes and just do a little like, hey, I can hang with this crew too, that's a good sign.
All right, we're gonna have everybody on our post-game show gush about Jayson Tatum a little bit more.
We are gushing.
I think you'll hear our Derrick White interview, finding out what he's doing over the break. I could not believe he's not going to a beach because he's been playing a ton of basketball.
Not only not going to the beach, but like cold.
Colorado.
Ugh.
I mean, like.
Sorry, D. White.
I know he's got commitments, but man. And then on the backside of it, we'll kind of take a quick look ahead to what the final 27 games will look like. But here's more from our post-game show.
Are you ready to enter the realm of affordable luxury? Drew Carter here with 24 Infinity of Plymouth, where performance comes for less.
Right now, lock in 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new Infinity QX80 Lux.
Ready to trade and upgrade? You'll get top dollar for your trade. Visit 24 Infinity of Plymouth at 151 Samoset Street and online at 24infinityofplymouth.com.
They took the best that San Antonio had. And when you looked at it, their team was outmatched from the beginning. You could tell that the team was outmatched. And then when San Antonio made their push, we were able to withstand it. And then after the end of that, all that, push back like we always can do against inferior teams and get this W. We won by 13 points. We could have won this game by 30 points, to be honest with you. That's how I feel.
And the irony is, Eddie, a lot of the times your key points are what? This kind of energy going into the game. And I felt like the Celtics did that right out the gate. You saw Jayson Tatum set the tone. They were without their 2 starters and Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown. And then the ball movement. I mean, leaving that first quarter, the Celtics scored 37 points to the Spurs 19. That's how you want to set the tone. Obviously, that dipped a little bit in the third quarter. But again, the way that they started things out, Jayson Tatum made that point initially saying, hey, we need to give this home crowd a little bit of a showing. He did that right out the gate.
He had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. I think Dick Life said that that's the first time a Celtic has done that in the first quarter in the play-by-play era, going back about 30 years. But Eddie, he remains aggressive and the focal point.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you what, like the last couple games and then this game, I'm looking at Jayson Tatum in a different light because everybody looks at him as like one of those players that you say, oh, he's a star player, but does he have the dog in him? The last couple games, New York, Miami, and there was some quotes that he was saying, and when I was being a lip reader, I seen what he said. He's in a different mode right now. And this is a Jayson Tatum that I think the league should be afraid of. They should be scared of this type of Jayson Tatum.
Our boss, Kevin Miller, was talking about how the game has slowed down. He feels like when you watch Tatum, do you feel like this game is slowing down for him a little bit?
Yeah, I also feel like he also, not only did the game slowing down because he's played so many games, but he feel like he that dude. When you feel like you that dude and you get a taste of it, most of the time there's no stopping that. You know what I mean? Once you get a feel, a taste of it, and I'm trying to tell you, he looking totally different right now with 14 rebounds with the 32 points. What's this? He had 40, 30, and 32 in the last 3 games, closing this, going into the All-Star break. I'm telling you, he's putting the league on notice. I think he's actually, to be honest with you, I think he is making a conscious effort to try to go for the MVP.
Yeah, and right now he's playing as well as anyone in the NBA, and the Celtics won 7 of 8 as a result of that. And again, we brought up the first quarter, the first half in particular, though. You know, they go into the locker room with that 19-point lead as we look at some of the highlights from that first half. And a lot of it, too, was Kristaps Porzingis mixing it up with Victor Wembanyama. That was all the talk coming into this game. And that was actually a fun matchup going all the way through it, but everyone just contributing.
Hey, how does somebody make KP look short?
There's only one guy, right? There's only one guy.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
This guy, Wembanyama. But also, for KP, 15-plus in 17 straight games. This guy is showing up day in and day out. And I wonder, I'm curious if Abby gets to talk to him. Probably talk to Jayson Tatum. But you ask him, where are you on that percentile in terms of 100%? Because what did he tell us the last time? He's like 96 point whatever.
Yeah.
Imagine him at 100%, and he's doing this.
You know what's cool about it right now is that, he had the time off, not because, he just was taking time off. He was getting healthy. He was able to sit back and watch how the team was performing and things like that. Now he's back, and to me, this All-Star break is another break for him. So now when, like I said, at the beginning it's a marathon, right? Now the sprint to the playoffs, and then you have a different season. To me, I'm looking at it like this is going to be a great break for him. He's playing good basketball. As long as he just stays conditioned, he'll come right back and pick up right where he left off. And him and Wembanyama, the difference was they were cross-matched. He wasn't really guarding Wembanyama, you know what I mean? But Wembanyama was guarding him.
Yeah.
And, ooh.
Yeah, Wemby got one early block, but after that, Porzingis kind of took over. 29 points in total for Porzingis in the win tonight. Send it back down to Abby standing by with Jayson Tatum.
Jayson, you told me the other night in Miami you wanted to play better for these fans here inside TD Garden. Was that the mindset coming in?
Excuse me, yeah. Last game before All-Star is always kind of the toughest. This has been a long season. We're playing a lot of basketball. We need a break. And last few years we kind of lost the last game going into the break, so it was important for us to come in here, down a couple guys, and finish off the first half of the season strong.
30-plus points, flirting with another triple-double. As Sam Cassell told me at halftime, this team depends on you for so much. How are you reading the floor right now?
Coaches put me in the right position. We work on reads all the time. So everything I see in the game, we kind of, I watch on film and we go through over practice. So it's all about executing and just not getting bored, making the right play over and over. If it's shooting the ball 5 times in a row, if it's, making the right pass 5 times in a row, you got to do that.
How personal did you, Derrick, and Kristaps take this matchup against Victor Wembanyama?
Not personal at all. Just another day at work, I guess.
You did pretty well. You've now won 7 of 8 going into the break. How happy are you with the way this team is playing right now?
We finished off the first half of the season strong. There was some ups and downs, which is, as part of it. But we just kept responding, and, we closed off the last little stretch really well. Get a much-deserved break and come back ready because it's go time.
I'm ready for it. Jayson, I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
All right, again, 32 points, 14 rebounds for Jayson Tatum. 2 of those 32 coming on this. The dunk of the game. It's all about the dunk. JT and the Celtics again in that first quarter, outscoring the Spurs 37-19.
As we welcome Brian Scalabrine here to the conversation.
Let's go!
I can run through a brick wall.
Yeah, that's right. That's like, yeah, I mean, that's how I feel when I watch Jayson Tatum right now. Hey, if he's playing the best basketball of his career, every read is the right read. When do I score? When do I shoot? When do I pull up? When do I stop on a dime? When do I move it? Everything he's doing is the highest level right now, and I can't wait to see him continue to grow through this.
You know, the thing about it is, I was just telling them, I think he's going for MVP. I know it's hard for, to get over SGA right now because SGA probably has a stranglehold on that at this point, but he's making a strong case for it. And the cold part about it is what he's doing. He's killing, dog.
Oh, he's destroying people.
He's killing. And the other thing is that everybody thinks that he's kind of soft. You was in Miami, right?
Yup.
And you see how he was acting? Have you ever seen that, Jason?
No.
And
He's a different guy.
That's all I'm trying to say.
You said it wasn't his just emotion, but what was coming out of his...
It was everything. It was what he was saying, how he was acting. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's different. Yeah. I ain't seen that before.
And the other team, they ain't trying to make eye contact with him. When he's doing this, they're just like looking down. They're trying not to get subbed out. That's it. And we know we get that feeling when you see a player and he has that look. I've been around when Kobe was playing. I'd be like, man, I'm not looking at him. No way. He's got that look, right? KG, I'm not looking at him. No way. Tatum is now entering into that category. I remember when Eddie lost us the finals against the Warriors. He started talking trash to Steph Curry.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Don't blame me.
And then
I didn't talk to Steph. All I said was, I looked at JT and I said, let's go. Stop score.
And what'd you see?
And then I seen Steph take 3 steps and look at me, and I was like,
he cut you.
I said,
what'd you see?
I seen a stone cold killer.
That's what Tatum looks like right now.
But why? What has changed?
I don't know. I think every read is so easy for him. So when you're not bogged down by the read, you can get into that emotional side of it. You can be competitive. It's a lot. There's a lot of reads. Do I get double team? Are they down the floor? Are they up the floor? Are they aggressive? Are they not? When you can do those in your sleep, then the next play is now about like doing it with the edge.
I'm not going. I'm damn basketball. That ain't what it is. It's when you feel, and you know this. You've been there before. Once you feel that, ooh, I'm dominant out here.
Yeah, I'm the best player on the floor.
Yeah, and you can feel it, and you do it night in and night out. It's over with.
It's over.
And that's what I see. I mean, the reads. I think he's always been a great reader of the game, but right now, he feel like he is the best player every single night on the floor.
The impact that he has on the defensive end, just with his wingspan and his length, is like not like historic. Like we haven't seen this, no. So even me, I felt like I need to give him something to try to get the shot off. And yeah, he's just a special player. So I think we had a lot of like drives, and that's like maybe like a partially how people feel around me, but with him, I think it's like at a different level. Drive in and you're just like, okay, like boom, kick out, and just keep playing. Yeah, special player.
You seem really excited after you scored on the first one.
Yeah, for sure.
Your head after that.
Just having fun. I thought that like he hit me a little bit too. I was trying to get the foul, and then just a little fist bump to celebrate with the fans that I got one over Wemby, and just competing.
Do you take that matchup personally?
Yes.
Yeah?
No, of course. No, of course. There's no maybe playoffs get a bit more, intense, and but it's yes, if it's make me compete better, it's just competition at the end, and but it's not 1-on-1. At the end, it's 5-on-5, and just we had a game plan we wanted to do, and they had a game plan, and that was it, just colliding, but he's a great talent. He's honestly an unbelievable talent. We tried to make him a little bit tired, and I think it worked towards the end. So He's you know, but he's going to be a force for a long, long time in this league, and I wish him all the best.
We got Derrick White joining us now, and Derrick, I think I got to start with one particular play in the fourth quarter, and you've taken some charges from some big dudes, I'm sure, but when Victor Wembanyama is coming down on you for taking that charge, what's going through your head?
I mean, when he fell on top of me, I was like, I better get the charge because it would not be worth it if I didn't. But I mean, I've definitely taken some charges from a lot of different players, and he might be the tallest one.
All right, meanwhile, you guys get the win here. You got a lot of momentum going into the All-Star break. You had 19 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. But how do you feel you guys are playing over this stretch here where you've won 7 of 8?
I think we're just continuing to get back to who we are and just having that mindset and that mentality that makes us special. So obviously a lot of things to improve on, and everybody on this team's hungry to improve, and that's the fun part.
D. White, what's happening, my boy? What's going down? Listen, everybody was talking about, in December you had the little time where you weren't playing, the brand of basketball that I know that everybody is used to seeing you play and how you usually play. What do you think that was attributed to you being off for so much time? Because you right back at it like you never left, even though you did leave for a little bit and everybody was so worried, like, oh, did he, this, that, and the third. But you are right back at where you were at and how you play. Was it something that just getting back in game shape, or what was it in that little stretch right there?
Yeah, I think I just didn't have the normal just joy and energy that I usually have, and it kind of affected just the rest of my game, and I kind of had to just get back to just me having the right attitude, and then everything else kind of solved from that. But obviously, like missing shots and this and that, but like mentally, I just got to be who I am and just bring that joy, and once I got back to that, things just started rolling.
Derrick, Jayson's had some monster quarters, playing the full length of the first and third usually. Like, what's it like when you're a leader like that is out there having this and kind of leading you through after that roller coaster December, January, and kind of getting you guys back on track?
Yeah, he's special. I mean, every night he just does so many different things to help us win games, and I mean, when he gets it going, it's a lot of fun to watch, and he kind of just does what the game needs, and kind of reads how he can impact it, and he's just special.
Speaking on what the game needs, D, right? You always are guarding one of the team's best players, and then you figure out a way to also impact the game by being one of the smallest players on the court, but actually impacting it at the rim like nobody does. You know what I mean? I think maybe D. Wade is the only other guard that I could say that impacted the game at the rim the way that you do. Talk about that, like that mindset going in every single night and still having it on the offensive end to be able to give it. Does that make you lock in even more because you're so locked in defensively? Does that make you a little better on the offensive end?
I think that's kind of just how I got started in this league is on the defensive end, and I mean, I want to win, and if I want to help the team win, it definitely starts defensively, and then offensively, just kind of reading, like I said earlier, like what the game needs, and be aggressive when I need to, and obviously get the ball in JB, JT, KP's hands when they need to get into. So I kind of just started defensively, having that competitive edge, and then offensively just kind of do what I need to do.
Derrick, you've been going nonstop for like 18 months now. You missed your 30th birthday party in Mexico while you were in Abu Dhabi and Paris and all that. What are you doing for the break? Are you excited to have a little bit of a respite of all this basketball?
Yeah, it's definitely been on go for some time now, and I want to say I was counting down the days, but I definitely was aware of it, and just kind of spend some time with the family, get off my feet, relax, but also have the right mindset for what's to come.
All right, and no,
He's got to go someplace warm.
Well, but
I mean, I know small children, but
I think you're being honored by the University of Colorado as well, going up on the Wall of Honor. So you got that in the mix as well. Congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations to that.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, tell Coach Boyle I said what's up.
Yeah, I got you.
Jayson, after the Miami game, in your walk-off interview, you said that you specifically mentioned how you guys have been underperforming at home. Did those comments that you made kind of like fuel you guys like at the beginning of this game as well?
Yeah, I think so. And the last game before All-Star break is always mentally, I think, one of the toughest games of the year. Just it's a long season, been traveling a lot. Guys got plans for vacation with their families and things like that. So, in recent years, we've dropped this game a few times. So I thought it was really important the way that we started and made sure that we were just locked in throughout the game. For one, because it was before All-Star break, and then, because it was at home, and we need to do a better job of protecting home court.
Is that something where you guys are conscious of, the fans, they're here, they're the ones that are here regularly for you guys, and it hasn't been, you guys haven't really been performing well here. Are you conscious of, like, not just what your journey is and pursuing a championship, but what they're paying for and what they're paying to see?
Yeah. Obviously we value the fans and we value their support, and they bring it every single night, whether it's preseason, the league pass, or playoffs, or the finals. We want to respect that. We want to play well at home. We want to win. So it's not from a lack of effort or a lack of, wanting to do the right thing. Some of those losses came from after long road trips and things like that. So we just want to be better for our sake and protecting home court and, just for our fans as well.
Jayson, your All-Star team has been tabbed the old head team with Durant and LeBron and Curry. Are you looking forward to just kind of that experience? I mean, you're the young guy, the youngest on the team, just playing with those guys in that format. Is that excites you when you see the roster?
Yeah, the best part about All-Star is just being in the locker room and sharing those moments with guys that you're normally always competing against. A lot of those guys I spent this summer with and, really, really close with. But that's what, I take away from All-Star is just the experience, all the other All-Stars that you get to be around and, talk with and joke with and things like that. And even a lot of the former retired players that are around. So All-Star Weekend is always special. Fortunate to be able to go year after year. And looking forward to a great, fun weekend.
All right, Kayla. I want you. You got to promise me.
Okay.
Next 7 days.
I'm here for you. Yes.
Not going to think about basketball.
Oh, you?
Well, I mean, both of us. We're both just
Chris,
gonna...
no offense. I'm going to be fine. I got my housewives. I hate to say it, y'all. Sometimes the Bachelor creeps. I'm fine. Are you going to be okay not thinking about basketball?
100%.
Okay.
And it is hard during the season. I wonder, like, player-wise, like, how do you turn your brain off and just kind of get away with it? And I go back to it. Like, I don't want them to completely lose what they've got going on right now. That being said, I do think from Tatum to Brown to Derrick White, everybody's played a ton of basketball. Yeah. Drew Holiday, he nurses the shoulder injury. Like, everyone needs to just go sit on the beach. Or if you're gonna stay at home, like, just put on Netflix.
Kick the feet up. Yep.
Yeah. Do something. Do not sit there and watch game film. I assume Joe Mazzulla will watch game film. But everybody else can go around. I'm getting out of here. So.
Where are you going?
I might be going to South Carolina.
Let's go.
So here we go.
Let's go, Chris.
It's not supposed to be super hot, but I'm.
But you're out of. We love Boston. We love New England. But you know what?
Yeah.
You could take a break from the snow a little bit.
We're leaving Saturday morning, and then there's like a snowstorm coming in, and I'm like, get me out of here.
Hey, everybody, I will be here for that snowstorm. So
if you need someone to shovel out your driveway, Kayla's available.
Right.
What do you need to see? All right.
Yep.
Next Thursday, when we kick back into basketball mode, they're going to Philly. I'm not even talking about like that Philly game, but like last 27 games of the year. Like, what's on your mind? What do you need to see in the ramp up to the playoffs?
I want to see and need to see a re-energized Celtics team that fires out the gate, like in that first quarter, that really has showed, like, okay, we had this detox of an all-star break. Jayson Tatum finally is forced to take a little bit of a break because if they kept going, he would not.
He's still gonna go to San Francisco.
Exactly. He's still going to be on the court. But just for them to kind of click, it's not going to be perfect. I just hope that coming out of this all-star break, it's not as roller coastery of a ride as what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot more consistency all across the board. The bench is scoring, the bench is contributing, the ball movement is at its prime. They're dishing out 30-plus assists. Like, that would be real, even if it's 25-plus assists. KP is hitting his stride and continuing to do that, and obviously health, Chris.
It's interesting you say that because my mind starts going to they have 5 back-to-backs in the second half of the season, so you're going to have to play with, like, who's available every night. But that typically hasn't been a problem for the Celtics. It's more been an issue when they've had everybody and kind of figuring out when guys are sort of like when it's their touches, when it's their turn to take over. And so I think for me that comes down to it. When you are full and when you are maybe not the sexiest of matchups, because we know they're going to bring it on those nights, like, what does it look like? And like, how do you get back some of that mojo from last season? Like, I think they've gotten, if this is the big bottle of mojo, and if you're listening on the on the audio version, and you're like, where is it? Just picture like a tall water bottle of
Stanley
like
Cup.
It's like halfway full right now.
Okay.
There's still a whole other half that they can go to fill the mojo water bottle, and with the starters, with like the rotation, with everyone just making sure that everyone's getting theirs. And I think tonight was close. Like, it felt like, you know, but you were down 2 starters, so everyone had to do a little bit more. How do you do that when everybody's there and full? And then on the nights where guys don't play, I think they'll be fine. I think, which is weird to say, but I just think it all is about ramping up. We'll see if they get close to the Cavs. It's going to be a major storyline, especially if they get 3 games out. You know, you start thinking about there's a head-to-head matchup at the end of the month. That's going to be the big one. But more importantly, we just gotta shut it off.
We're good. Shut it off. I feel good going into this break. I really do. And tonight proved it. If they had played anything less than what they did, and that third quarter started to trip me out a little bit. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't liking it.
We're not doing this again.
No, we're going to end on this beautiful positive note because the Celtics deserve it. They really capped off. I know it was against the Spurs, but still, they needed to make a statement point at home. They did that. I feel good.
And I would say that's the other thing I'd like to see, just a little bit more consistency at home. And I get it, long road trips. There's been some like trappy-ish games that.
But look, the fans, they're going to be ready to go post All-Star break. This is the second half of the season. Let's go.
I keep saying it. Season ticket holders pay a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
16-10, now 17-10 was not acceptable for the level of money that they dole out. So
Fair.
I hope that they
High
get a good
here
product.
in Boston.
And a long playoff run and another parade and all that. So we'll be here for it all. Need you to go like, go subscribe. If you don't get that notification for over the next 7 days, well, sorry.
Hey, Chris, can I say something?
Yeah.
You deserve this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Happy All-Star break.
There we go. The mustache is going nowhere, too.
Nowhere. Yes!
We'll see you on the
Long
other
live the
side
stash.
of the All-Star break.